Fellow graduates, as your Master of Ceremonies and inspirational leader, I just want to tell you that it's not the game in the master, it's the master in the game.
An escape room is an interactive game where the players control the narrative, which means sometimes things can go a little off the rails, which means our game masters have to be prepared for when the unexpected happens.
So this one time, there was this player, we got them all into the fun house, and immediately that player goes straight to one lock and begins just guessing numbers, random numbers. Like, every time people would look around the room or find a clue, they would like shout out a number and he would just try it, he'd try it. And so I tried to like get him to get off the lock and like, you know, participate in the group, you know, find some clues, solve some puzzles, fun things, you know. He goes, I don't care, I'm gonna open it. I'm pretty sure I can hack this lock. And like just hearing it, I was like, why? Why would you want to do that? And he stood there for about 40 minutes until his group solved enough puzzles that they found all the clues, solved the puzzle, and went to his lock. They pushed him out of the way and opened the lock for him.
Occasionally, I've had groups come in who don't speak English and many different languages, and you still have to try and find a way to help them without quite knowing what they're talking about. So the easiest way to do that is try and figure out what language they're speaking and then quickly look up numbers 1 through 10 at least in that language so that you can at least see what they're guessing, see if they're looking at the right things, and so that you can try and steer them in the right direction if they're not.
There's a lot that goes into being a good game master, but there are quite a few traits that you absolutely must have. For me, it's being able to improv. If something happens in the game that you aren't expecting, you have to be able to find a way to work around it. If someone doesn't know, if they don't understand what you're saying, you have to be able to figure out how to explain it to them, even if you've explained it the same way a million times before. I think being able to improv really just makes sure everything runs smoothly.
You gotta have patience, let them figure it out on their own, as frustrating as it may be, but that's the way they have the most fun, is figuring it out on their own.
Definitely consistency. Consistency with your clues, consistency with everything that you're doing within the game. If you're not consistent, then your groups are gonna get confused and they're not gonna understand what's going on.
You know, my first day of training, I told myself, remember everything, make no mistakes, and do it perfectly. I've just followed that ever since.